Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack making backflip. Telly Hank did with the action. With the Vato speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews, how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the Bay.
There's at least one, if not more, individuals out there that just committed a double murder.
Detroit police say the alleged murder appears to be intentional.
The gas was on from the stove. Somebody left on, the pilots were not lit, so it looks like it was an intentional act. There was one room that was tossed, so it looked like they were looking for something.
More breaking news. A former NFL player shot and killed in northwest Detroit, and police say whoever did it tried to cover up their tracks. The former Buffalo Bill is one of two people found dead in a basement of a home.
Both appear to have multiple gunshot wounds. Sean Lay is live on the scene. Sean, do police have any suspects in this case?
Not right now. We'll show you what police are doing to try to drum up some suspects here. But what we have is two families on the northwest side absolutely devastated. We're on Pearson. This is Hessel. 8 Mile Road is just a block that way. We're talking about family members of Robert Eddins, a former NFL star, and his friend Ricky, a 32-year-old father of 4, found in this home here. It was Eddins' father who had not heard from his son in 24 hours. At 6 o'clock tonight, he went rushing to the home and went inside, and he made an awful discovery.
It's very devastating to all of us that he's gone.
Bridget Eddins is simply stunned. Just this past Saturday, she was with her son, former Buffalo Bills linebacker Robert Eddins, as Eddins was celebrating his son's 4th birthday. At 6 o'clock tonight, Eddins' concerned father came to check on Eddins at Eddins' grandmother's home on Pearson, finding the former Crockett High School football star shot to death in the basement, along with another man, family members identifying him as 32-year-old Ricky McFarland, a father of 4. We know one room was ransacked, TVs left on, and gas filling the home.
They try to blow the house up. They had the TVs on. The whole house smelled like gas. That's why we can't go in there. The whole house. They try to blow. They ramsacked it and everything.
Police tell us whoever shot and killed both men were trying to cover their tracks.
The gas was on from the stove. Somebody left on, the pilots were not lit, so it looks like it was an intentional act.
Eddins played for Ball State, signed with the Bills in 2011. After 1 year, injuries sending him out of football and back home to Detroit and a big family that loved him.
So I'm just so numb. I can't tell you. I can't cry. I can't do nothing. All I know, this is just my family don't need this at this time.
Back here live on the northwest side, all this shock for back here live on the northwest side, all the shock here by both families of what's happened. The bottom line is there are no suspects at this time. Detroit Police Homicide investigators all over this neighborhood, going door to door, looking for any witnesses, also talking to family members to see who might be responsible for this double homicide. We're live in Detroit tonight on the west side. Sean Late, Local 4.
2 fathers gone.
Horrible.
Now all those children without their father. Thanks, Sean.
Yo, we back. It's your guy Popalot. Mob, gang. We on our way to the great state of Michigan with it. The D, Detroit. Now, from the beginning of this mob tie shit, the D has always been like a home base. So I'm going to need my guys to throw that shit on and get in the comment box and rep your section. Now, today, I'm going to be bringing you the story of an athlete, like so many athletes, that reached the pinnacle in their sport, which is playing in a professional league, but they would find themselves back in the hood only to meet tragic circumstances. Now, the story I'm going to be telling you guys today is going to be that of former Ball State University, former Buffalo Bills linebacker / defensive end, Robert Eddins. Now, Robert Eddins, who had attended Ball State from the years of 2007 to 2010, seemed like he really started having motion right around 2008. when he would record 6.5 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, his production would increase or stay the same from that point on, which led to 2009, where he would notch 13.5 tackles for loss and 7 sacks, which led to his senior season in 2010, where he would go on to record 13 tackles for loss and 6 sacks. So he pretty much wasn't All-American or gangbusters, but he definitely seemed like a solid player. He would end his college career with 34 tackles for loss and 17 sacks. But one thing you can't teach is size, and with Robert Eddins being 6'3" and 246 pounds, that would be essentially enough to get him signed with the Buffalo Bills as an undrafted free agent in the year of 2011. Now, he would be placed on the injured reserve on September 14th of that year and eventually waived, but was granted an injury settlement on September 20th of that same year. He would be signed again by Buffalo a month later on November 30th and added to their practice squad, pretty much trying to make his way in the league. Now, on January 6, 2012, he would be granted another contract with the Buffalo Bills, and they would give him an opportunity to try to make his way up the depth charts. And he would be quoted telling one of the local newspapers in Buffalo that being inconsistent makes you non-existent. Now, during his career with Buffalo, he would go on to play in one regular season game, and he would not be signed again by any teams in the NFL. It's not documented much about what he had going on in 2013, but in 2014, he would go on to sign with a CFL team only to injure his hamstring during training camp and end up being cut. Now, like a lot of athletes or like a lot of people that are successful in life and they fall on hard times, sometimes they find themselves in the places that they originally grew up from or that they're familiar with. And Robert Eddins would find himself in Detroit on December 20th, 2016, where he would be found executed in the basement of a home alongside of another gentleman by the name of Ricardo McFarland. At the crime scene, police would say that the suspect or suspects in this double murder would try to cover up their tracks. They had ransacked a room inside of the house, apparently looking for something. And it would be upwards of a year and a half later to where not the Detroit Police Department, but the FBI would announce that they would arrest 3 drug dealers on suspicion of that double murder. Now, those 3 drug dealers being Michael D'Angelo Griffin, 34 of Birmingham, Alabama, Clifton Dennis Epps, 30 of Emory, Mississippi, and Mariano Garcia, 47 of Brownsville, Texas. Now, the full details were not disclosed in the indictment, but it did disclose that it had something to do with a 5-kilogram deal. So we're not sure if Robert Eddins was trying to sell 5 kilograms, but I'm under the belief that he was looking to buy 5 kilograms from the 3 gentlemen and ended up murdered in the process. Now, in a crazy twist of it all, Michael D'Angelo Griffin, who it looks like they're trying to make the head of it, would post a tribute to Eddins' Facebook page on December 20th, 2016, the same day he was murdered. Now, the photo was captioned, "Man, I can't take this. I love you, little cuz." And it would also go on to be shared by Robert Eddins' mother. Now, I'm not quite sure if they were related by blood or very close, but it definitely sounds like it was some kind of relationship there. Now, according to Timothy Plancone, the special agent in charge of the Detroit field office, he would say that the murders of Eddins and McFarland was just another example of how violence is intertwined with drug trafficking, and would go on to say that the 3 men would have traveled from Alabama to Detroit to murder the 2 men in a period in which they were also distributing cocaine and heroin. Now, the trio would end up being stopped riding a rented 2016 Dodge Charger on January 4th, 2017. Now, when questioned by the state trooper, it was said that they were nervous and they gave inconsistent trip itineraries. Now, that would lead to a search of the vehicle by state troopers, where they would go on to find more than 1 kilogram of heroin that was located near the rear quarter panel of the vehicle. When the rented 2016 Dodge Challenger was returned to the rental company, an employee would go on to find a loaded pistol under the driver's seat. Now, not quite sure if that pistol had anything to do with the double murder in Detroit, but with the FBI on the case, it won't be long before we find out. Now, y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, on Twitter. It's your boy Popalot, POP_A_LOT. Y'all hit this red subscribe right under this video so y'all know when this real trill spill shit is dropping. Y'all get in the comment box flooded. Let me know where we need to go, what cities we need to hit, what stories we missed, all that. And y'all already know what it is with me, MOBB.